The town is closed.
No, we just bitched until I get here and it's like, oh wow, I'm glad I came.
Yeah, the fully self-contained caravans go and park on this lush green grass.
We haven't had grass for so long. Grass is like, oh my God.
And 46 degrees.
Does it make any difference having 45? Isn't it a 40?
John, why aren't you doing that exam?
Because I failed school once, so I don't want to fail it again.
But seriously, if this is what hell feels like, I don't ever want to be there.
But this isn't as hot as it was coming down when we were at that other place.
It's 46 degrees.
Does it make any difference having 45? Isn't it a 40? It's hot. It's hot.
We've moved on from Geraldton, and from now on, pretty much the whole way along the coast, we're going to be free camping. I hope this heat finishes.
But it's all Australia. All Australia's roasting at the moment, so
yeah.
But it's hot. It's hot.
Now I thought this place was called Greenough. I'm going to put the spelling down below, but a few people have called it Greenough.
Greenough?
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon it's Greenough.
All right, so we're at the Greenough Historical Precinct, and it's a National Trust. It's $10 for adults to get in, $7 for concession, and I can't remember what kids were. And you get a map, tells you what all these buildings are. I don't think we can go inside the buildings. It's just I don't think so, John. I'm not really 100% sure.
Are they haunted?
I don't know. This one here is the Greenough Convent. The convent was constructed in 1898 to house a group of Dominican sisters from New Zealand. They conducted a mixed-day school in the large room until they moved to Dongara in 1901. The building was then taken over by the Presentation Sisters, who ran a boarding school for boys. The large room was converted into a dormitory, and extensions, which are now demolished, were added along the west side. After the convent closed in 1951, the building was leased by the O'Brien family, who lived there until it was acquired by the National Trust.
Still building the buildings like this today.
I reckon.
Are you sure you can't
Look
get
at
in?
the size of this step. Oh, we can go in.
Oh my God, it's like freaking aircon.
Oh, wow.
How cool is it? Seriously.
Wow.
They dress in pretty much a suit in 45 degree heat.
Even the little boys are...
I suppose they were used to it.
So this must have been the dormitory.
Yeah.
This convent was occupied by the following religious orders: the Dominican Sisters from 1899 to 1901, Presentation Sisters from 1902 to 1958, the Sisters of St. Joseph of the Sacred Heart, which was called the Brown Josephites, taught school on the back flaps 1888 to 1889.
Holy moly!
The difference.
How hot is it? Like, that is crazy how cool that is in there. Like,
we really should have bought our water. So the next one is St. Peter's Church. It's here. St. Peter's Catholic Church was designed and built by W. Martin in 1908 and continues to be used for worship. It replaced an earlier church located on the lower ground in front of Clinch's Mill, which was damaged in the 1888 floods.
So this is like a proper ghost town.
Yeah.
Please close doors when leaving. It says you can go in, just got to close the door when you leave.
Well, then. But how beautiful is this?
Like even the woodwork. How intricate is that? They were really craftsmen back in those days, weren't they?
They were. Look at this lead light up there, John.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this is Goodwin's cottage, right next to the church.
Goodwin's cottage.
Goodwin's cottage. The Catholic Church built this cottage in 1890 for Ned Goodwin, a retired policeman, and his wife.
Yeah. We just look so different, I reckon, these days. I remember watching an episode of Bewitched, remember? And this little pot here was a person, remember? Do you remember that episode?
Yes, I do. Wasn't it Uncle Arthur? Didn't it turn into Uncle Arthur?
Nah, it was one of Samantha's old boyfriends or something. So again, if you watch Bewitched, in the comments let us know.
And did you see that episode?
Yeah, that was one of my favourite shows.
So this is the old presbytery. The presbytery was built in 1900 by Mr. Bennett and furnished by the church, housed the local priest for 30 years. Oh, here you go, John. You know, this John Hawes, Monsignor Hawes that we've been... Yeah. Monsignor Hawes was the last priest to occupy this house. The building was later used as a boarding house for some of the older boys from the convent school.
Wow.
So this Monsignor John Hawes, he got about that man.
He did. His poor horse and cart. So this is what I thought, that ghost town, that funny name we went to, remember? We went to walk to that cemetery. Where was that? Krakow. I thought Krakow would be more like this, where the buildings would be like...
So did I.
Like this. Oh, look, I'll go up and do the honours for you, okay?
All right, this is St. Catherine's Hall.
Did you have one of these at your school?
Yes.
Our curtains, I think, were green.
Yeah. All right, let me just talk about St. Catherine's Hall. The plans for a community hall were prepared in 1893 by Perth architect Thomas Whitney. The land was donated by A&W Clinch, but it was not until 1898 that the sufficient funds were available for building to commence. This is St. Catherine's Anglican Church.
Hope it's open. Geez, feels medieval. Oh, not as grand as I thought it was going to be, actually. I think the other church was more grander.
Well, that's a mighty heavy door. So this is an Anglican church.
I think the Catholic churches were much nicer.
Catholic churches, Catholic churches are definitely more grander. I'm pooped and I'm smothered with sunscreen and it's all in my mouth. Oh.
Me too.
You'll never... Okay, St. Catherine's Church.
You're actually sweating.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you sweat as much in this trip.
St. Catherine's Church is the second Anglican church built at central Greenough. The first, an iron and timber building that had been shipped complete with all the fittings from England, was erected on Company Road in 1892.
So they pretty much did container homes back then too, eh? Pretty much.
Well, yeah.
If they build it in England and ship it over.
It was replaced by the present building in 1913. St. Catherine's Church is still in regular use for worship.
How you love lead light windows.
But you know,
that's big.
What do you reckon it is, John?
Oh, it's got to be the pub. It's got to be the pub.
Got to be the pub?
I reckon it's
All
the
right.
pub. It's got one, two, three, four, five. There's 6 chimneys.
Let's go for a walk out the front and I'll tell you what it is. This is the police station and the lockup.
That's a big police station for the old days. Really? That's a police station?
Yep.
Holy dooly. That could tell some stories, that one.
I reckon.
Let's get... I can't wait. I hope we can get in here. Oh, there's a lot of doors.
Let's read all about it. I'll come up on this chair while I'm reading. The police were first stationed at Greenough in 1863. 2 years later, Maitland Brown was appointed the first resident magistrate. In 1870, work began on the construction of the police station, lockup and courthouse.
Oh, we've got one that opens.
The cells were not used for long-term housing of prisoners. Instead, they were used to transfer prisoners to Geraldton upon conviction. Well, this is the courtroom.
What room? Guilty!
The building complex served a variety of purposes, all associated with government services. In addition to the courtroom, which also served as a meeting place for the Greenough Road Board until 1906, the complex housed the police station, charge room, a retiring room used for both magistrate and visiting doctor, the police sergeant's quarters, a school teacher's quarters, a kitchen for preparing prisoners' meals, and from 1874, a post office. This is so cool.
I wonder if this is where the accused stood.
It must have been.
And then they took them away. You would have came in through that door there.
I would say the people that come to watch court came in here.
And you would have been standing here.
Yeah.
And then when
the
the
magistrate
guilty,
was there.
straight out the back.
Yeah.
Hope we can find the cells. Oh yeah, it is jail. The cell's down here. Now that looks
bloody creepy, John. I'm really scared going.
That looks creepy, eh? How good does this look?
John's got to put the torch on to go down here.
Yeah, this is the cells, eh?
This is mad. Oh my God.
How creepy is this?
Watch out! Don't! Oh, you're a mongrel. Don't.
I beg your pardon. You have to beep that out.
I will. I'm scared. I'm scared.
How cool is this? This is so cool. This is my sort of stuff.
Here's your ghost town, John.
Oh.
John, this one might have been the one for the Aboriginals because, yeah, look.
Oh, I had the chains on the wall.
This is awful. Oh, this is awful.
This is
And they
terrible.
got chained. So why didn't the white men get chained? They're all locked up in the same sort of room.
That is terrible. Lighting.
And
You
then,
don't take this and you stay in
No,
here.
I'm not going in here by myself.
Go on.
No.
Why?
No.
Why? I promise I
No,
won't lock
no,
the door.
John, no, because you will lock the door.
Oh, well,
No,
I will not lock the door.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You don't really trust me very much, do you? I don't really blame you. Because I still would have locked you in there.
How many wives watch this whose husband would do the same as what my John would do?
I would say lock you in there.
He would so lock me in.
No, I wouldn't really.
I can sort of hear footsteps behind me. That's how creepy it is.
This is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, time to go to school, John.
Oh, 1929 school closed.
In the year 1867, there was 25 pupils with an average attendance. And then they got the boys and the girls. That's cool.
This is an exam from 1898.
Oh, let's do it. I'm doing it.
You know what? Then the questions I don't like. If 450 people wanted to travel a journey of 250 miles back then, I hate that. You know when it used to be? If Johnny had 5 apples and he stopped along the way and Susie wanted 1, and then along the way he also gave... I was like, oh, I'm always hating those questions.
All right, I'm just going to interrupt the episode here for a minute to talk about the DJI Osmo, what is it? Action 4.
Action 4.
It's 46 degrees today, and I've been filming, but I've been turning it off between each building and trying to keep it in the shade. It has just now run out of battery and I've swapped the battery, but the battery was like boiling hot, burning your skin hot. John's just turned the video on to record me telling you this, and what did it say? That it's overheated.
It said it overheated and it's not recording, but it's recording.
But it looks like it's recording.
It's it never shut off or anything.
No.
It just said it's overheated, but it's
So
still...
it's going to be interesting if this actually gets recorded or if it's sporadic. It's counting down.
It's counting down, so I reckon it's recording.
Yeah. But anyhow, there's just an update on the DJI, and now I'm going to get back to showing you this schoolhouse. John, why aren't you doing that exam?
Oh, I flunked school once, I want to flunk it again.
This school closed in 1929.
These questions are too hard.
Are they?
Too hard.
I'm going to give it a go. I'll give it a shot.
Ooh. Go, Trace.
Write in large hand, write in small hand. I don't know if they mean printing or not, but I'm presuming that would be cursive writing because in those days I don't believe they printed. The flora of...
Test, Trace.
Well, I was really good at school, like really good. This is hard. Get this.
I told you.
Get this. Geography. Draw a map of Africa indicating the chief rivers and the portions of the continent forming part of the British Empire. Name the principal mountain ranges of North America. Show by a rough sketch where they are located.
Told you it was hard.
Oh, get this. Whom did Queen Mary marry? Give a short sketch of his character.
Okay, we both fail. That's interesting, isn't it?
I'm going to take that to my mum and dad.
So if they know, they'll know.
Yeah.
They're from that generation.
They weren't from the 1800s.
Well, you know what I mean. They're close to it.
Although, if it was up to Hudson, he said that Grams has got very, very wrinkly skin. But then he told me that she was only 35 and I was 55. But he said that Grams and Gramps were way younger than me.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm getting in trouble.
Let's go.
Right, I told you it was hard. Let's go. I must say though, it is a pretty interesting old little town that you can actually go inside. You can actually go inside and have a look around.
This was great. I know it's been hot and we whinged a lot about the heat.
We didn't really whinge that much.
No, but this has actually been great. Now I think I might only put sections in our main episode. If you want to see the full walk around of this village, I'll just do a separate little episode.
Oh, if you ever come past here, pay the $10 each and go for a wander.
But you know what? It's good if I do a little episode for the people that actually can't get over here, you know.
And just see what yesteryear was like.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
And
So we've come down McCartney Road, and this is a convict bridge.
what the idea of putting all the little rocks on the top were for?
I wonder.
I don't know why they extended it.
Really sharp rocks.
No, I'd say they've done that as well.
Looks like an old house that somebody's just living in though, John.
It's an old house, that one. Yeah.
I've read on Wikicamps that water flows through here, but definitely no water today.
Well, it's definitely the bridge up further. This is like a
It is too.
see, like where the water would hit that and then go through the
Yeah.
middle. So there's look. Let's drive down on the side of it, down there to get a better look up.
Can you do that?
Oh wow, look at that. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool. So a little further down from that convict bridge is the Wesleyan Chapel. I don't think we're going to be able to get into this one,
No,
John.
it's got a brand new roof on it.
Well, it has too. And you've got to watch out for snakes here. This is actually a walking trail. You wouldn't want to do this in the summertime. Okay. Many of Greenough's
In the
early
summertime.
settlers were members of the strong Wesleyan community led by the Waldeck's, who lived at nearby Mount Pleasant. The foundation stone for this Gothic-style church was laid in 1867. It was built of limestone by ticket of leave convict labour and opened for worship in 1870. There isn't. So over here, across the road,
What a shame everything's all boarded up.
the Greenough Walkway Heritage Trail Gray's Store. This is Gray's Store. This store and two-storey residence was built in 1861 by merchant and landowner Henry Gray using ticket of leave convict labour. Gray sold the property in 1890 and the store was used as a residence until the 1950s. The building has since been purchased by the National Trust for restoration.
How good would that be to get inside that?
Imagine it. We just drove down the road a bit from that Wesleyan church and John just spotted some more old ruins. We're going back down to the caravan park and it's dropped down to 41 degrees. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, we'll talk about this S-Bend caravan park. I found it on Wikicamps, and we decided that we've spent so much money in caravan parks. That's called Lemonade Cottage. Anyhow, we've spent so much money in caravan parks the last 2 or 3 months because of the heat. We have to start making our way home, and we're going to have to just grin and bear it and free camp or low cost camp. Oh, this is that Hampton Arms here, John.
What's Hampton Arms?
It's an old pub. This is the Hampton Arms. Now, I did read on Wikicamps that it was a cafe now. Look how old it is. It looks like it's either deserted. Well, there's chairs out there, but the top awning, well, the balcony, it's falling to pieces up the top there. So, I don't know if this is still a cafe or what, but there's a plaque here. It's still part of this walking trail. You have to be mighty fit to walk this. The Hampton Arms, one of the oldest licensed inns in Western Australia, was built by Francis Pearson and opened by Governor Hampton in 1864. In the years before the railway reached the Victoria district, Company Road was always busy. Many weary travellers rested and refreshed themselves here, while others stopped for repairs to vehicles or harnesses.
So let's quickly get back to that caravan park.
Oh yeah.
We had a phone call.
It's the next.
Got all about it. It's the next day.
So it's the next day.
Just like that.
All right. That caravan park is spent at Greenough. It is $5 per person per night if you want to go into the fully self-contained area.
And that means you can use none of the park facilities. Toilet, shower. That's pretty much all they had.
Yeah. But the fully self-contained caravans go and park on this lush green grass.
When you haven't had grass for so long, grass is like, oh my God.
And after a 46-degree day, it cooled down to, 28 degrees?
28.
And it was actually cold.
It felt like we needed a jumper on at 28 degrees.
It was funny.
How crazy is that?
We slept all night and we had a blanket on, and then woke up at 7 o'clock this morning and it was still cool. Fell back to sleep 8 o'clock. It was like a hot box.
We woke up at 27 degrees.
Yep.
And I had a phone call from a mate, and when I was on that, 5 minutes in that phone call, it went up straight from 27 to 38.
Yeah.
And now it is 41, and it's
only 9:20 in the morning. So across the road is the Western rock lobster statue. Now, the Western rock lobster statue was built in 2005. The habitat for the Western rock lobster is between Cape Lewin and Northwest Cape in Western Australia. Fun fact about the Western rock lobster. The biggest recorded Western rock lobster caught was a massive 5.5 kilos or 12 pounds. We have now driven to a town called Mingenew. Going through these towns, now we've come out east, going through these towns, there's a lot of these things, little sculptures. So Mingenew means a place of many waters. This is a glacial boulder. This boulder was dropped from a melting iceberg during the Permian Ice Age about 230 million years ago. At that time, the Mingenew area lay beneath the sea, and most of Australia was covered by a continental ice sheet similar to that covering Antarctica today. It was collected from a glacial boulder bed at the Nangeli Hills, 20 kilometres north of Mingenew. Okay. Interesting. Okay, there is a sculpture of wheat. Depicts the importance of wheat farming in the area. It celebrates the fact that Mingenew is known as the grain centre. The Mingenew grain facility is recognised as the largest inland grower fed receival site facilities in the southern hemisphere. I've brought you somewhere of quite historical significance.
We are in the middle of nowhere, and I mean nowhere, and it is 44 degrees, but probably 20 in the car. I don't want to go out there.
So John's not real impressed about this, and we've come off the beaten track with the caravan.
A long way off the beaten track.
We've left the highway and we've come down dirt roads and everything just to find this space. That is just depicted by a rock standing up in the ground. But let's go have a look.
Is that the only headstone there?
Yeah. There's
yay!
mounds. Just come out. It is of importance to our history.
We've got a little chair you can sit on down over there.
So this stone, and you know what? It says to read the stone, but you can't really read it. Let's walk down there in the shade, John. So just these mounds here. See these mounds of
yeah.
They're graves.
That's a grave,
they're graves.
Oh, I don't like that hanging thing.
Yes.
And this one's.
All right, Johnny, just stand here in the shade and I'll just tell you. So we're at the Butter Abbey Graves. Now, it's considerable historic value as a place which provides evidence of the attempted resistance by Aboriginal people to the spread of the European pastoral expansion in Western Australia. So Europeans were wanting to expand their areas and the Aboriginals resisted. I believe it was the Wajari people and the Han-Hagadi Will-Unyu peoples. They're the Aboriginals, right? There is 3 random rubble grave mounds, which we're sort of seeing.
Oh, there's one there, there's one there, there's one on the other side.
Yeah, one there, and then one at the...
No, I think there's one on the other side over there.
Okay. Ready for it? The site contains the grave of James Rudd, who was killed by Aboriginals. And then there's the grave of 5 Aboriginals who were hung for spearing of Thomas Bott, who later died from his injuries. And James Rudd was found dead inside the door of his hut.
Wow.
Let's have a read because it is interesting. Prior to the coming of European settlers, this land was part of the country occupied by the Wajari people. By the 1860s, shepherds with flocks of sheep began to arrive here from leases closer to the coast. Inevitably, there were clashes between the cultures of the Wajari, as the Wajari tried to protect their women and the resources that sustained them, and the settlers sought to expand their holdings. And that's fair enough, I think.
I think it's fair enough. They shouldn't, yeah.
In 1864, James Rudd and Thomas Bott began to develop an outstation here. Imagine that. Digging a well, clearing land and building a hut nearby. On August the 22nd, Bott was grubbing out a tree about 90 metres away when he was attacked and speared. He died 4 weeks later in the hospital in Champion Bay, which is now Geraldton.
Ah.
3 policemen were sent out to find and arrest those responsible. On September the 29th, 5 Wajari men, and their names, get ready for it, I'll try, Wengar Yaku, Yormakara, Garda, Charlakara, and Williakara.
I think you did that well. But how did they know those were the...
I don't know.
The men that did it?
They were arrested. When the party called at Butter Abbey a few days later, they found Rudd's body lying just outside the hut. He had died from a blow to the back of the head and was buried here that day. Mumblebee, his wife Bella, and a 14-year-old girl, Bija, was subsequently arrested. That was interesting.
Pretty bad, really.
On January the 5th, 1865, the 5 Wajari men were charged with Thomas Bott's murder. Evidence given at the trial does not record whether or not they complained of provocations or past injustices caused by those that have understandably seen as invaders. Speaking through a chain of 2 interpreters, all pleaded not guilty, though they admitted to spearing the white man. All were convicted and sentenced to death. The following day, Mumbleby and Bealow were charged with murdering James Rudd during a fracas over a gun they'd found at his hut. Mumbleby was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to life in prison. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
It's very interesting.
We've probably just said that, but it really is.
It's very interesting.
Following requests from the settlers and the resident magistrate, the 5 men sentenced for Bott's killing were transported back to Butter Abbey in the hope that their on-site execution might serve as a deterrent to others. At daylight on Saturday, January 28, 1865, the men were hung from a tree that stood not far from here and were buried in graves nearby. Watching this event were 12 Wajari people who'd been forcibly brought in to witness the spectacle.
How bad's that?
That's really bad.
It's bad.
Imagine being forced to watch it.
Pretty much, if you do anything, this is what's going to happen to you. That's what they're pretty much telling them.
So it says, pause a while and reflect on what took place here and why, and pay your respects to all caught up in this tragic clash of cultures. Wow. So that's what the noose here is depicting, John, the hanging of these fellows.
Yeah. This is it, poor buggers.
This is it.
All for what? Land.
Yeah.
Just for land.
And basically, white people just deciding it was their land over the Aboriginal people.
Yeah. Oh my God.
See, John,
what a difference.
I bring you to these off-track places, but they really are.
Oh, they're interesting.
So interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, no, we didn't bitch until I get here and it's like, oh wow, I'm glad I came.
Yeah. All right, so we're making our way to Mullawa. In Mullawa, we're going to continue. There is another one of these beautiful churches that John...
We're gonna fly in here.
I thought it was a wasp or something.
No, they're so sticky. No.
All right, Mullawa is where we've been following these churches that John Horton, Monsignor...
Got it. Booyah! That's exciting when you get to fly out.
He interrupts me. I'll try take 3 now, John.
That was a fly's fault.
Mullawa has another one of these churches that Monsignor John Hawes, Monsignor Reverend Priest, Father, created, built architecture.
Oh, he had such an imagination, that guy.
Yeah.
Hey? Those churches are stunning.
So it's kind of doing a bit of a loop to get to where we're going, but I think it would have been a shame if we missed this.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Hey, just before I forget, the dirt road that gets down to these Butter Abbey grave sites, we got down there and there's actually a turnaround bay.
Yeah, so if you've got a caravan, there's no problem.
So yeah, if you're driving along, definitely come down and have a look.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we've got to Mullawa and the town is closed. We've just been past the cemetery and there is a massive funeral happening. Everything's closed, visitor information and everything. But we've just come across, we came to the Visitor Information Centre, that is also closed. Here's the war memorial here, so I'll have a quick look at that and then we'll go and find the church we're looking for. Sacred to the memory of all who gave their lives that we may live in freedom, 1914 to 1918, 1939 to 1945. They gave their all, let you who pass, salute in here their names. See that through you no slur, nor stain, nor shame falls on the land for which they gave their lives. Australia, lest we forget. This is the Monsignor Hawes Museum and Priest House. Now again,
Pretty much everything will be closed because we've just seen a huge funeral.
True John and Tracy style though, isn't it, hey? But I would say this is closed.
I don't think you can go in that one anyway.
How cool is that? I always wanted to do that with an olden day door. So this is attached to the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, which Monsignor Hawes designed.
I think that's...
This is Monsignor Hawes' precept.
Look at those bells. It's even locked.
Statue. Is it Jesus and he's carrying his sheep?
Everything's locked up.
So this church we were told when we were in Geraldton, definitely come and see this church, and it's all locked. Look at this. Guns. France, Egypt. It must be something about the war. Gallipoli, Palestine. To the memory of our soldiers, 1914 to 1919. May they rest in peace. Yeah, it's all locked. We made the trip to Mullawa, went right out of our way, especially to come here. What a shame. The other thing we've just realised is it's Saturday, and so I'm knocking on the admission at the church back there. There's a school attached, and I'm knocking on the door. Nobody's answering it, and it's Saturday, John. Nobody's at school.
No one's at school on Saturday.
And
and everything's closed. There must have been a very highly respected person, eh?
At that funeral, the amount of people was incredible. So now we're going to go to Morawa. All right, next town.
Next town, next church.
Morawa.
People are going to start being really religious, eh?
No, we're not. We're just we're just on the trail of this John Hawes.
He just designed stunning churches.
So we've come from Mullawa to Morawa, and it's 43 degrees. We've just put petrol in the car, or diesel. Sorry, John, we've put diesel in.
Diesel. Only because one day you went up to that lady and you said, "Do you have any petrol?" And she looked at you and said, "No." And I said, "No, we're after diesel." And she said, "Oh yes, we have diesel."
Where was that?
Oh, I don't remember, but you said petrol, and she said, "No, we don't have petrol." And she said, "No, but we have diesel." And I was like, "That's what we need."
All right, we're at the Church of the Holy Cross and Old Presbytery. Monsignor John Hawes designed between 1915 and 1939 a number of churches in the central west wheat belt.
He was busy, eh?
He was. This one opened in 2nd of July 1933.
1933.
But there's a number of other buildings in that.
Weren't you?
Yeah, right. There was a number of. You put me off now. There's a number of churches and buildings in Morawa.
Morawa? So that's 5 times.
No, who were designed by John Hawes.
You can.
Hawes. I wonder if this one's going to be open.
Well, I don't know if I should just wait here and you just go, it's open.
Well, I'll go.
Do that, because I've got to change the gas over in the fridge.
Okay. We're on a slant. Okay.
Locked.
I wonder what that little thing is up there. This here is the priest's lodge. During the time he was building the church here in Morawa, John Hawes travelled down from Mullawa by rail. When construction of the church was completed in 1933, he built this tiny priest's lodge. I can't get the door open any further than that. But look at the little windows here. We decided to come to Morawa Museum.
I can't believe it. It looks like it's closed. There's yellow tape around the door.
It's supposed to be open 9:30 to 4 o'clock.
Looks like it's a crime scene, actually. There's, that yellow crime scene tape.
It's supposed to have Australia's biggest collection of windmills.
I can see three.
I can see three.
Well, we're here. May as well get out and have a look.
All right, we'll walk across and see.
I'm just going to turn the car off and put the gas on.
Well,
never buy a three-way fridge. They're a pain in the ass with the
They're
caravan.
such a
Get a compressor fridge.
or we can just drive on for half an hour, get to Perenjoni, go to the free camp there, have lunch.
So what do you want to do?
Well, you said you were really hungry.
Yeah. I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten all day.
Well, do you want to? We'll stop here and we'll get out and we'll go and have some lunch.
Well, that's what we'll do then.
We will.
Okay, we're stopped for lunch. Tracy's making... What are you making, dear?
Just a ham sandwich.
A ham sandwich.
You're lucky you're even getting that. It's so bloody hot.
Yeah, it's 45. I can't believe you're sweating, eh? Tracy never sweats. It's hot. It's 44 degrees. That's
The
all
bread is boiling.
Right. Show me, let me feel. The bread is hot like it's been in a
It's like it's just
oven.
been baked.
Yeah. Oh, it means it's fresher. No?
No, because it goes mouldy quicker.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's hot. I don't know what to say. I think my brain's fried. So, we'll talk to you soon.
Righto, we stopped at Woobin to get petrol. One of the petrol stations was closed for renovations or something. The other petrol station, there's only two in town, the other petrol station
He's having trouble with his pumps.
He's having trouble with his pumps, so we couldn't get any diesel. And we went, 12 k's down the road to Nugabong or something like that. Nugabong.
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to read it off.
Nugadong.
Yeah, Nugadong.
Nugadong, there's a free camp there. And we've got here, it's 4:30.
And it's still
44 degrees.
So we're just going to stay in the air-conditioned car and just keep going.
So in the caravan was stinking hot. Sitting outside in the shade wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But John didn't have a feel for the place. Wiki Camps, there's plenty of people with positive comments on here, but John just didn't have the feel for the place anyhow.
And it's filthy. It's littered with rubbish.
So we are going to just drive. I've put Southern Cross into the Navman, And we're just going to drive until it starts getting dark.
Till we find just another one, just till it gets a bit cooler.
Just till it cools off. Okay.
I got a feeling it ain't going to cool off, eh?
I know,
4:30
right?
and it's still 44 degrees. But anyway.
All right, let's keep going, John.
Let's go.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, 6:30, I think. And we just kept driving, and we were going to try to get to a place called Beacon. I'm not really sure how far away we are from there, but we are knackered. It is still 42 degrees. So we've pulled up at like a gravel pit, and it's just off the road. You're blinking everywhere. We've been trying to pull up all along the way, finding all these sites from Wikicamps, and we just kept missing the turn-off, and we didn't see the turn-offs. So this one we got the turn-off, we had to chuck a U and come back into it. But it's just a gravel pit. No one here. John's going to try to start the generator, but the generator just doesn't want to start. So it's probably going to be a long, hot night, I reckon. We are determined to do as many free camps as we can. Like we said, we've spent so much money on caravan parks, so we've just got to free camp it for a bit. I don't think that generator's going to start.
Good morning.
Good morning. We survived hell.
What did we get down to last night?
It got to at 2 o'clock. It was 32 degrees, and at 7 o'clock it was 24 degrees, and it is 8 o'clock now.
No, I'll say 33 degrees.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a great little camp spot.
It's great, yeah, it is. Off the road, don't hear many cars.
And we did hear one goods train or two goods trains
Oh,
going
yeah,
through.
we thought, well, what the hell was that? Yeah, that's right.
Seriously, if this is what hell feels like, I don't ever want to be there.
But this isn't as hot as it was coming down when we were at that other place.
No,
it was 37
it's
all
not.
night.
No, it's not as hot as that place. I think it was when we first crossed the Western Australia border, near Lake Argyle.
That's the one.
It's not as hot as there.
That's the one.
But it's not far from it, I can tell you. But I've decided that until we get down to cooler weather, we're caravan parking it. I cannot do that. I stayed awake until 4 o'clock. I can't do that every night.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It's just too hot.
We need a bigger battery system. And that's the main reason we're selling the caravan, just to upgrade the battery system. Or if we keep it, we'll just upgrade the battery system.
Yeah. So I'm so tired.
And I couldn't get that generator to work at all last night. I took half of it apart, but I couldn't get the spark plug out. Because on those King's generators, the spark plug is a different size.
I've got
the two normal sizes for cars, but it just wouldn't go down and do it.
Okay. Anyhow.
Anyway.
We're gonna try Southern Cross. That's only 2.5 hours away though, so they probably won't even let us into the caravan park.
You'll be surprised.
It's going to be 44 again today, and the wind's hot already. Let's go.
All right, let's go, guys. Let's go, girls.